It's going to be a day.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing today? Kim, you want to give us your weather report?
My weather report. You know what? It is +2 here and raining.
Oh, it's
This is
55
not
degrees here.
it. Pardon?
It's 55 here.
Well, it's 36 Fahrenheit, so still a bit of a difference. But rain at the end of the year, like this is just weird. The roads are just going to be slick.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
So, when I set this up, I was just calling it Friday with Friends, but we decided in a conversation we were going to do grid type of watercolor.
Because
And
I
this
like
is
watercolor.
the culprit that started it. I had to finish this last night because I didn't like it with the tape on it. The tape was orange. Maybe that was it. I'm still not in love with it because there's so much dark in it and I don't do that dark, but I've been trying to do some other color schemes. I tend to go back to the brights, but anyway, so I was going to show you a few things that I've already done in the grid style. I think that's the first one. There's all kinds of weird stuff in this book. Even my masterpiece. This was a sketch that I did of flowers with a bow. And I was drawing one day, and Gavin wanted to draw on the same page. And actually, these little solid parts right here, I handed him the marker and said, now color in that flower. Now color in that. And he did. Well, what a 2.5-year-old could do. So, anyway,
I love it.
this one
Hi,
was.
Arlene. Hi, Susan. Sorry.
Hi, Arlene. Hi, Susan. This one I taped off, but I had some boo-boos, so I went ahead and took my lines across my white lines. I still love it, though. It's kind of different than the others. This one was similar to what we're going to do, where it's one continuous line around it and you watercolor around it. There's two ways to do it. If you don't happen to have permanent markers, do your watercolor first. If you have permanent markers, then you can do your lines and then do your watercolor. Now this one's taped off. It's hard to see. I already taped some off. I don't measure. They're not all straight, but I still love them. And then these are this one's not a grid, but this is just watercolors haphazard. This was one of them with trying the black gray scheme. It's okay. It's not me, but it's okay. And this one was the same. This actually I'm stitching on the back of these. That's why they're all like that. This one I took to, instead of my grid, I die cut circles out of a big piece of sticker paper and put them on there and then did my watercolor and then doodled and then pulled them off. So that was fun. This is just watercolors. Watercolor and doodles. This is the same as the grids like I do, but I decided no grids. This one, I just put the tape in. It's okay. Don't love it, but it's okay. And then I grabbed these because
I love that one.
This one Kim did with the spiral doodle all the way around. And this one is not watercolor. This is colored pencils. There may be some markers in there too, but I'm not sure. This is probably my most colorful piece I've ever done.
I love that one.
And this was watercolor and doodles. And it really bled out, but I kind of liked it, so I kept it. And there's a thing, if you don't like it, cut it up. It's always good for something. And then this one, I did the spaces. So it's kind of the grid. And then doodled in them. Most of these are just watercolors, but there's so many things you can do with watercolors. And I think that's what I'm going to concentrate on this year, beading and watercolors. Because watercolors means doodles too. So.
Hi, Sherry. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And this one, I let areas dry and went back over them with the other colors so they kind of pick up, the overlap, semi-transparent. Okay, so those were just because, and sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I have scanned them all into my computer and I do use them for collage materials, but at some point I'm going to cut them up. I'm just not there yet. So when that happens, I'll be ready.
Hey, Belinda. Hope you're enjoying your holiday with your family.
Hi, Belinda. Hi, Sherry. So this is a bigger sheet where I used washi tape to grid it off, and then I will doodle in it. This is similar to what we're going to do today.
Hi,
What I
Laura.
what I
Sorry.
did with this one's, hey, Laura, I did the little blocks. Now, mind you, this was taped off. So, this was probably taped all the way across, and this was probably, but I did the colored blocks and then went in and doodled on top of it. This is the grid done in the kind of like we did last week. Yeah, I have learned a big lesson to last night. I can't leave these. I mean, I got to get them doodled up and get the tape off of it because it left a gummy residue on the other one. But those are just some grids I've already got painted up. This one is really similar to what like Kim has. I'm sure you can see her squiggles on there. This started out as one line. And that was what started the whole design. I went back in. I'm even getting lost here myself. Okay, we go up. Anyway, okay. I thought I was lost, but I'm found again. And it goes all the way around.
Hi, Kilburn Creations. Nice to meet you.
This one I did with the what's that Stabilo pencil, and then went in and wet it down so it got that bleedy effect. And then again, I went in and just did shapes. And I tend to do my shapes and then outline them so they look like they were colored in, but they're not. And that's it. So we'll get down to what we're going to do now. I'll get all the show and tell out. I am contemplating, once it's all rounded up, having a flip through of all my art journal pages. So you can see, not today, but some way. So anyway, this is, like I said, what inspired Kim to decide this is what we're going to do.
Well, no, we decided we were doing watercolors. And this is my sketchbook that I started it in, right? But because it's a sketchbook, I had bleed through, right? Sketchbook. I had bleed through of the ink onto this page. So I got all these mucky marks. So I figured that doing it this way would be a good thing to do. And this will give me a chance to practice more watercolors because I am so pitiful at it. It's a learning process. I have determined that I can't differentiate I can differentiate obviously, but they do all the lines where the color changes. I go overboard. So now I've got, things to work on. This one I did much better at. I made much bigger splotches and I didn't do those little lines like I did on the other one. So I am learning. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. Okay, Belinda, take care, hon.
Bye, Belinda. Thanks for popping in.
So Jean is kind of teaching me to watercolor. And she says I have to make my paints really wet. So I'm going to do it.
Well, part of the reason for Kim having them really wet, it all depends on the person. And believe me, I am no expert. I am just months past saying the best thing I can do with watercolor is put a hole in the page. Because I literally used to put holes in the pages when I watercolored. So I just determined I'm not going to paint scenes or people or any of that stuff. I'm going to paint funky, weird stuff, just like I doodle. So once you let go of the should do's, then you know it's a whole different story. But for Kim, she can't do the pastels, and you can if you watch last week's show, you'll know it really hurts her to have those pastel colors.
Oh yeah, brutal.
So,
Brutal with the capital B.
I forgot to get my water out. Lucky for me, I keep several jars on hand. And they're all nasty looking. My poor little
Muck
canning
water. I
jar.
like muck water.
Well, I mean, the jars, like my lid is rusted like crazy. And I don't know. It makes me like it.
Oh, thanks, Laura. I'm good at making mud, obviously. Look.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I have a plan.
Most of the time when I do watercolor, I use a round brush. I vary in sizes, but I have found a few unusual brushes. I really like this one. It's a dagger stripper or striper. I'm going to call it a stripper. It's probably a striper, but I think a stripper is much better.
Yeah.
And the one of the things that I learned in watercolor, and Darla was a big helper in some of this too, but I had a friend here that helped me with a lot of things. And watercolor will run on wet, but if you put watercolor on dry surface or not on a pre-painted thing, it's going to sit there. So if you want a mess, then you make sure your paper's wet. You can get wet or get your paint and put it on like, however you want to do it. And I make sure I don't have any straight lines if possible. And I'm sure there's out there, you wonderful watercolor painters. Like I said, am no expert. I'm just helping Kim with what I do know, which is very little.
And she tells me I just do my own thing anyway, right, guys?
Yeah.
Because
so then if you've done this, if you take a clean water brush and go around the edges, if you didn't wait too long, the water can go ahead and bleed out, and you'll never know that it was just painted on. And if it's been too long, like that has probably been, I'm just going to bring a little bit of that paint out into the water I put around the edges. And it looks like I had a soaking wet sheet to put that on. No lines. All nice and fadey. And Kim put her line on first. I don't want to sit and dig through my markers to find one that is permanent. So I'm going to put my watercolor down first. And if I wanted to, I could easily do it in blocks too. I don't have to do that. Now I'm going to put some wet down. As you can tell, I don't always clean my brush, and I do like to mix my colors in the palette, on the paper, wherever I may decide to mix them up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up and let those kind of blend in. And you never know what it's going to look like. You can think it looks just perfect, and it dries. It's a whole new thing. And yes, my colors are pretty wet in my paint palette too. Sorry that you can't see them because it's got these big ends and I can't get it closer without possibly getting paint Let's see if this works. Nope, it's not even. But I got a lot of good paint on me. But that's okay. If you can't get into it up to your elbows, it's just not worth doing.
That's right. That's exactly right. Whoop. And I can't paint inside the lines either. So it doesn't really matter. The lines are there for no apparent reason.
But that's okay because your doodle makes everything else look really cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that doodling on it makes a difference too.
It does. It definitely does.
My favorite blue paint is almost empty. There's like a quarter of an inch in a corner, and that's it, which just is sad because I don't know what kind it is. And as you can tell, I don't follow a color scheme. I pick out the color I like, and that's what I use.
Me too. I am notorious for not knowing colors. And Lover and I were actually talking. She has one of those uh, packs of the color blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, oh, wouldn't that be a great thing to have? Because I think that that would be kind of beneficial for the mess that I make.
Yeah, I don't know. I have never followed any kind of color wheel or anything. I've just done what pleases my eye.
Exactly. But my eye is definitely not everybody else's eye.
And if you put something down and you want it to blend just a little more, just wet the edges. Let that water do the work that, you know, to get the look you want. And
And
it's
because,
okay to leave white spots. I have trouble with that one.
me too. Um, I don't have a heat gun, so this is how I dry my stuff. And it leaves a really cool texture. It does. Oh, big wet spot there. You know what, Arlene? That's my thing too, is I probably wouldn't use it either because I don't always have the colors that it calls for, and I really like brighter, punchier colors. So I pulled out my watercolor pencils as well. And I wanted to play with them just a little bit, just so that I could do some outline so it was a little bit sharper.
I'm
And
gonna
I
make you
am
do
going to
it
put a
because
hole in this because this is not watercolor paper. That's why it's all ripply as well. And a lot of times I just use pencil crayons for highlighting as well, right? That's still wet. If it's wet and you use a pencil crayon or a watercolor pencil, you will put a hole in. That I have learned. So you have to be kind of gentle. Hi, Miss Sally K. How are you today? We're doing watercolor again, but that's okay because I really need to learn how to do this because I see such beautiful work and I want to do work like that. And it just doesn't, it just doesn't. So, yeah, I hope everybody had a good holiday season with family and whoever you celebrate with. See, that's not much difference in blue. I think I want a darker blue. Oh, that's really sharp. And to be honest, the only way I know that it's watercolor is because it says watercolor on that. My daughter has a habit of buying me art kits with various things like pastels and stuff in them. And some of them, they say that watercolor pencils are included, but they don't mark which ones they are. That I find kind of annoying.
So I don't know if anybody seen me when I had went off and just put Kim on so that I could dry this. But then I decided to use my little blower drill, and I decided to let you see what I was doing. But you can see all these runs. I love the runs.
I like the runs.
So
I have to get a hairdryer or something.
yeah. You could use a straw and blow your colors
Yeah,
out.
that's really hard with my asthma. I find
And
that
it's really hard when you're old and fat too. You were
doesn't work in a
talking
competition.
you were talking about your papers rippling. Mine just is rippling too because I had it so wet, and this is mixed media paper. But once it's done and I close the book, it's going to be all right down the road.
Yeah.
So mine's done and dry. I'm going to doodle on it now.
Okay. Mine isn't yet. So I'm just going to.
I couldn't work without a hair dryer or a heat gun because I am too impatient. If I had to sit and wait for it to dry, I'd get up and go do something else and forget about it.
Yeah, I know. Once I walk away from something, it's really, really hard for me to get back to it. I'm really bad like that. But I guess I'll have to hit a couple of thrift stores and see if I can get a hairdryer.
Arlene, you're a smart aleck.
Well, what's she up to?
She sent me a message
Oh,
because she was afraid of putting it in the chat.
oh.
That it might be offensive, I'm sure.
I don't know who it wouldn't offend me none. We know that.
She's just so funny sometimes. That's why I love her.
Sherry, that's awesome. I hope you're going to post that in my group when you're done. She just sent me pictures of a canvas she's working on.
Cool.
Yeah, see, I don't know that you're right, Susan. I really don't know that I would use the color cube either.
Yeah, I know I wouldn't. Because if you use the color wheel, for example, orange and blue go together on the color wheel. I mean, they're the opposites. They should be good together.
I love orange and blue together.
I can't stand that. It's kind of like your red and green.
Oh, yeah. No red and green in my life.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
I can do orange and turquoise, but orange and blue is too stark for me, and I don't know why.
That's weird.
I
That's
know. So I think this is something I'm not very good with, brush pen, because I want my thick and thin lines. And
oh,
this is a really long one, and it is supposed to be permanent, not that it matters. And I think I'm going to just do a double check and make sure it's dry.
mine is not. Orange and purple. I can do orange and purple. I cannot do red and green. Red and green just makes me shiver. Just not something I do. I really do like the way that the you get the texture from the paper towel. I really do like that. So, it's still kind of damp. Oh look, it bled through there, and I can see here where I did the pencil. I could end up with some holes. Okay, what am I going to use, Jean?
I don't know.
Because I don't think I would use watercolor for doodling. You're using brush pen because you've got one. I have. You know what? I might use my acrylic inks and a brush instead of a scratch pen.
I do have to say, when I start a doodle like this with the tape on it, I do, once I start it on the doodling, I'll work on it until it gets done because I want to see what it looks like with the tape off.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to do that too. But as I say, I'm going to use my inks, but I'm going to use them with a brush.
So I'm going to close up my paints for now because I got this done. And now I can doodle all over if I want. I got lines on it to start me. I do like to take my colored pencil sometimes and fill in little sections, but my little sections aren't all little enough yet. So I'm going to just start with one of my mini pens. I do like to outline so that when I take them off, the tape off, there's an outline. A lot of people don't do that, and a lot of people do that. So that's personal preference. I like it. I feel like it gives me a definition when it comes off the page. I've done it without it, and I went with the ruler in and outlined it. So,
Well,
I don't want a big bold line, but the tape and the right marker lets me get a decent line. And sometimes I do have to go back over it when I'm done, when I pull the tape off. But I think one of the fun things about doing a grid like this is that you can go right over the tape and it looks nasty and you're like, oh, this is never going to look good. And then when you pull it off, it's like, oh my goodness. So, or maybe that's just me. I like the surprise that comes with the tape coming off.
well, we're just playing. We are just playing because I can.
So I hope you all had a good Christmas. we're not completely done with ours. We're going to have our gift exchange with all my kids and grandkids on New Year's Eve. This is the closest we could get to everyone being there. But I did go have a Christmas dinner with my daughter and all of her kids. We had a pretty good time. We had hibachi, which is so not Christmas, and it was so good. And we still ate too much. But it was so good. And then, in case you've never heard of it, we had a better than sex cake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is the first time we've had a dessert that got finished completely.
So what is
Uh,
that one made of? I've heard of it. I've never made it.
it's a chocolate cake. And then after it comes out and still warm, you poke it with like, the handle of a spoon or something. About the
Yeah,
size of a pencil. You don't want to use a pencil, of course, but
yeah.
and then you pour sweetened condensed milk over the whole thing.
Oh,
And she poured caramel on top of it also.
nice.
And then I think it's Cool Whip and drizzled some caramel and then topped it off with broken up Heath candy bars. And it was so good. And you can buy toffee chips,
Yeah.
but that it's not the same as the broken up candy bars.
No.
It had to be the broken up candy bars. So, and since I am hoping to have my journals be filling started art journals this year is what I'm trying to say. I
Me too.
have to always check and make sure I'm going the right direction because I do have pages in books that are upside down. Well, that marker does not want to dry on the tape.
That's not good.
No, I'm surprised I haven't smeared it all over. Just on me. All the way down to my elbow.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, reveal will be satisfying. I haven't done it with watercolor before, but I've done some grid journaling.
I want to share something with you guys because in my cleaning, I have found this and I had really forgotten that I'd done it. And I love it so much. I don't even know what to do with it. Um, I'm looking. It seems to have disappeared. Oh, must be this. Okay, I did in 2014 a class with Joanne Sharp. And this was a year-long class. It's Draw Your Awesome Year. And I'm going to make myself big, okay?
Go right ahead.
When you said journaling's what made me think of this. This is one of the things that I'm extremely proud of. So each page is numbered. We've got the table of contents, all different lettering. My life, my masterpiece. My word for 2014 was slow down. It only took me 3 months to come up with my word. After working in several books, I realized if I slow down, it looks better. So this was January. We did that kind of grid with little pictures and stuff like that. In February, not only have I got stuff written in there, but there's stuff written in the edges too. And the first few months, I filled every shape This is March, April, May. And I think here's where I started getting, I just drew a face in that one. July. August, we did butterflies and dragonflies. And I did leave some blank ones. And September was back to school, so I did it in like a book page. And then it's October, November, December had lots of empty spaces. And then we had, of course, I didn't finish this. Intentions, goals, wishes, travel. This is one of my favorite pages I've ever done for anything because I did
That's very cool. Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah. Hi, Orange Swag. How are you?
Hey, how are you, Candy? Is that Candy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Nice to see you.
This was celebrations, and it's a girl. On 1/21/14 is when I was told I was having my first granddaughter.
Nice.
And then there's really not much else done in there. I mean, I love to look at them. I love the colors, and this is all watercolor. And then different ways of lettering and layouts and borders. And if I ever decide to journal, and then I have a Riley picture. There's a Riley or Kennedy picture in every journal I have almost. So anyway, that was
I like it.
half of the point, but anyway, I had to share it.
I like it.
Thanks, Candy. It was just, I don't know. When I found it, I was like, oh, I did that. I remember.
Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that too. That's never fun. And I can't believe how many families I know had COVID this year for Christmas. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I hope you're all starting to heal and get better, Candy. Hmm.
Pneumonia. Oh my goodness.
I went to the doctor yesterday.
Did ya?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I just needed my prescriptions filled and they wouldn't give them to me unless I came in.
Oh.
I was almost cranky.
Oh, I get cranky for that too. Did they give you a Boxing Day discount?
I don't think so. I still didn't get all the prescriptions. This is my first outing at the doctor on Medicare.
Okay.
So,
No, I'm just wondering, like, if they made you come in for your prescriptions, do they get paid more because it's a holiday? Here it's a holiday, right?
yeah,
So, like, do they get paid more because
I
it's a
don't think
holiday?
so.
Like, creeps. Don't you make enough money? It is bonkers, totally and completely. I agree. Totally and completely. Well, I have no idea where the heck I'm going with this.
I don't either. This, the worst part about playing today is that I am digging out things and I'm thinking, am I going to take this on my trip? Am I going to take this on my trip?
Right, right.
I like to take stuff with me.
Yeah,
I have 2 bags, one that you can work on the car in the car with, and then
right.
the
Well,
one you can.
that's when I'll take knitting to do in the vehicle, or yeah, knitting or crocheting, and then I will do um have other stuff to play with wherever I land.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
I'm glad it's not COVID. Yeah.
Well, and my husband was really sick there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was they did never did diagnose what it was. It wasn't the flu and it wasn't COVID. And somebody commented the other day somewhere where we both were that it's the mystery illness for the winter.
Well, I don't want any mystery illnesses. Nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, I'm trying. I haven't gotten out other than around my kids because we'll be staying with my in-laws and we don't need to take anything to them,
No.
especially nothing respiratory. My father-in-law's been having troubles with that anyway, so.
All right. I like it. It is scary. We had to do a lot of shopping close to Christmas because, long story short, my daughter said, "But we like having cookie dough in our freezer, Mom." And I went, ugh. So I had to go shopping for the makings because at Christmas you do all the fancy cookies, right? The ones with fruit, the ones whatever. So I had to go and pick up stuff to do all these cookie doughs, and yeah, yep, it was definitely something. I made a lot of cookie dough.
Well, they're going to love that then.
Oh yeah. Of course, because I ran out of freezer space, I didn't make ginger cookies. So, you know, you get the ones where, well, ginger cookies are my favorite. You don't want to know what came out of my mouth. You're taking 10 dozen cookies home with you. Shut up. Rude. I was rude. I admit it. They laughed.
Do you see what Laura wrote? Am I the only one that's thinking y'all's compositions are coordinated?
What? No,
They kind of are, except I got purple,
you do.
but not enough of it to stick out.
I wasn't looking to see what she was doing.
Yeah, ditto.
Ugh, Jean, are you contagious or is it me?
It's you, it's you.
What?
It's you, it's you.
Okay.
I have gotten to where most of my doodles are straight lines and dots. That's just it. Sometimes I think, oh, and then there's times when it's like, oh yeah, that's just what it needs.
Okay. I need to know if this is dry enough that I can actually use pens on it now. So the edges didn't darken the way I had wanted them to darken. So you know what I'm going to do, right?
You're going to take colored pencils.
Pencil crayons are us.
I had to stop and think about saying colored pencils just because
I'm
we can't
contagious
be
on that too.
we can't be similar in everything. We need to find a project. That's a challenge for everybody out there in the box, to find something that you know we are going to do completely opposite.
Yeah. Speaking of in the box, Jean, I totally forgot until I was digging in the puzzles, right? Look what I got.
Oh,
The Bob Ross, the game.
I didn't even know there was a Bob Ross game.
Neither did I. My girlfriend got this for me sometime during the summer. She picked it up at a thrift store, and I was thinking, oh, I have to learn to play, and maybe we could play that online.
Cool.
Princess symbol? Maybe. Oh, thanks. So I thought that if I learned how to play the game, anybody out there, have you played it? Like, do you know what it's like? Like, tell me, because I will read the rules and stuff, but maybe one Friday, Jean, we could play it. You know, of course,
Sounds fun.
we'll have to play it just between us. Some, I don't know. We'll figure out how to do this. Yeah, I didn't know it existed either. But I'm thinking, wow, that could be just an absolute blast. Absolute blast. I'm sure it involves drawing or something.
Let's hope it's not an art history
I don't
game.
think it would be.
Happy little trees.
Happy little trees. Happy mistakes. I kind of like just the way the outline is going, just the orange. I might not bother doing the other ones, the other colors.
I'm trying to use my white in there too more often, and that's another one that's hard for me.
Yeah, I'm not a big white fan either, but I do know that I use it more often than you do.
Yes. Mostly because it skips so many times, and then I get to the paint pen and it blobs, and there's just not a happy white out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to work as fast as I can so I can pull the tape off.
I'm working fast. Not. Yeah, I think I just like it with the orange really punchy.
Cool.
All right.
So what's for supper at your house today?
Leftovers. Still got Christmas leftovers. And my family took a lot home. But I still have lots of leftovers.
Well, we usually go out on Friday nights, but the restaurant where we normally go closes during Christmas
Ah.
to New Year's. That's not uncommon around here. I found
That's nice
out.
though. You know what? But that's nice that gives their um staff a break, right?
Yeah.
You're cooking ravioli stuff? What are you doing with ravioli? Fine line butter. I
Oh,
think that works too, Arlene. I like that.
I probably need to do that too, Arlene. I have one. I just haven't put anything in it yet.
I want to know about this ravioli thing.
Well, bye, Candy. Take care.
Oh, take care, Candy.
Um, we buy frozen ravioli.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can buy it with the meat or just cheese. It just depends upon what you want. And then I make like spaghetti sauce basically with the meat in it.
Yeah.
And I layer it like lasagna.
Oh yeah, ravioli lasagna, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
In fact, we call it fozania.
Nice.
Mostly because my husband names things weird, but
That's my grandson. He's the one that names my foods or gives them different names.
Sometimes it's hard to leave something alone and think, okay, that's good enough.
You're right. It is very hard to do that.
Bye, Arlene. Thank you for coming.
Bye, Arlene. Take care. Have a happy new year. If I don't see you. Anybody got exciting plans for New Year's?
We'll be on the road.
Yes, you'll be on the road.
I'm hoping we leave early enough to. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too early and the drunk drivers will still be out.
Yeah. That's true.
I hate it when I lay my pen lids down and can't find them.
Oh, that's my world. That is my world.
So, is anybody playing along?
I hope somebody's playing along. Because that's always nice.
I just never know what I want to put anywhere. Sometimes my brain just draws a blank.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm just doing. Not really sure what I'm doing, but I'm doing. Just filling in spaces. Do you outline the edges, Jean?
I do.
Okay. Nobody answered. Anybody doing anything fun for New Year's?
I was trying to figure out when the last time I went to or did a New Year's Eve party, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I did either.
Sometimes I can stay up till midnight, though.
Well, yeah. So I'm just thinking I'm going to pull this tape off and there's going to be lots of run under. We'll find out. No biggie.
Well, then you cut it apart and make little cards out of it.
I put a hole in it. Ha ha ha. Well, that's special. Yep, absolutely special. Now I'm just going to draw lines my way.
Bye, Christy. Thanks for coming.
Take care.
Well, look at that. I drew this partial circle right here. And it actually fits up in a circle stencil.
Wow, that's awesome. How often does that happen?
Not very. So I have to tattle on my husband.
Uh-oh.
I've been after him for over a month, probably closer to 2, to get him to change the rear wiper blade in my car.
Yeah.
And the other day when I was out, I just decided to stop and I got it, and he come home from work and I said, I bought you a present. he was all excited, and I handed him the wiper blade.
That works.
Now, it took him a few days, but he finally got in there and attempted to change it. He come in, he says, it's just not the right one. I said, why? That's what they pulled it up on the computer going off of the app. I knew exactly what make, model, everything in my car.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we're going to have to go to the dealers. This one just isn't going to work. And I'm like, okay, do whatever. So he calls me yesterday and he says, what's the VIN number on the car? So I sent it to him. He was at the dealership buying it, and he had to buy the whole thing, the connection to the car, the whole thing, not just the refill.
Oh.
And he let it slip when he was telling me about it, that when he was trying to put it on, he broke it.
Oh.
But he was telling me mine wasn't the right one because it didn't fit. But then he's, like I said, he slipped and told me he broke it. And I said, so the one we have will work later down the road when we need it, won't it? Yeah, it will. I'm like, you little stinker.
Yeah. Oops.
Yep. I just think he didn't remember telling me that it didn't work, and explains why he wasn't so worried about whether I had the receipt to take it back or not.
Yeah.
Oh, men.
Yep. Can't shoot them, can't live with them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, what it is.
I have a few friends whose spouses have passed and they have, found new ones. And I'm like, man, I just don't know if I want to ever break in another one.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes, Susan, it does bleed under, but when I put it on, I kind of burnish it. And sometimes, more times it doesn't. When I use this tape, and I can't tell you the name of it. Okay, I'll type it in because I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. Please don't correct. There we go. It didn't autocorrect.
Yay!
I've seen somebody use it, and what I really like about this tape is if you wanted to use it, I'm going to find something white to put it on. That's okay, like this vintage paper, if I wanted to put it on here, it looks like vintage cellophane tape. And it came in I don't know, 6 rolls maybe. I got it on Amazon.
Hey, Dana, nice to see you. Nishiban, I have to write that down too. Where?
Yeah, I really liked it. I also have art tape that I have bought in the drafting department. That's the whiter one. The yellow is that one. I wish I could get this just a little bit narrower, but it is what it is. Let me see if I can even find the link for that. I don't know if I can on this computer. It will help to look at orders. That might be faster. Oh, I can get it a little bit narrower.
Ooh.
I think. I don't know. I have to measure this one. Yeah, there's no way that's 12 millimeter. I think this is probably the 18 millimeter. Okay. Using that under before I put the tape on, is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, I haven't because I want my waters and paint to be messy and all over the place. No, I haven't because if I put those down and some of it gets on the paper, it's not gonna. It's just not gonna work like the watercolor mess I want to make. I know some people do, and that's around the outside edges that would be probably okay, but yeah. Right now, I can tell you because I can see through this that I don't think any of mine bled through on this, but I maybe right here. But I don't know. I've had bleed through, and it always I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I can take a wet paintbrush with water and just kind of go over it a little bit, and it'll lighten, and it sort of kind of fades away. I'm definitely going to have to measure my tape now and make sure. Because now that I see they have it in a 12 millimeter, that might be the way to go. Yep, this is 18 millimeter, which is about a little, it's about 3/4 of an inch. A caliper's not a tool I use a lot, but man, when I need it, it's perfect. So definitely going to order the 12 millimeter. I shouldn't. I should let this all run out, but anyone who knows me knows that's not how I roll. Oh, yeah, that's 12. It's more like a half an inch. Okie dokie. That's good to know. And the only reason I would want it narrower is because I do take them apart and split them, and make little cards out of them. Which probably in January or February, if I can get caught up, I'm going to send out cards again. I do that through Facebook.
Yeah, I think that gesso stuff would affect watercolors too. Anything liquid, I think, would move them. Uh,
Susan has really gotten into playing like this too. She sent
I
me some.
know she posted that one she did with us last week. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So is watching us doodle like watching paint dry?
Yeah, good question. Need to know. Personally,
Definitely.
I'm hoping to do more tutorial kind of things on my Tuesdays. And then the Feral Artist Group on Sundays, we will be pulling sticks each week to see what we're doing the following week. So you guys would have a bit of a heads up as to what's happening.
Now your sticks aren't prompts, are they, per se?
They're not prompts. It'd be something like use lace. So we would show people all the different ways we use lace, right? Or how they could use lace. Because, we're all going to do our own blessed thing because that's why we're the Feral Artists Group. So it's not necessarily a prompt, it's just what we're doing that day. And because we are all so different in how we do so many things, it's more a case of I want people to be able to take some new ideas or old ideas that they remember away from the you know.
I don't know if the music I'm listening to affects my doodles. I don't always listen to music, and I don't think it probably affects them that much because I'm listening to the same things I've listened to for what, 40 years? So, oh my goodness, all of a
Oh, see,
sudden.
I don't listen to music. I listen to audiobooks because music has a tendency to make my mind go, "Oh, remember you were doing this?" And then I will stop doing what I'm doing and pull out what it has triggered my memory to.
I do that a lot with TV. If I'm
Yeah,
doing something in front of the TV, which I can do, but then when I do that something again, I think of the show I watched. Or sometimes I can doodle on the phone, I can doodle in a meeting,
yeah,
and I still comprehend everything.
yes. But
But when I do it again, that's when I'll remember something about, oh yeah, we talked about this in that meeting, and I was on the phone with this person when I did that, and
yeah,
which is okay because sometimes it makes me remember somebody at a time when I might not have thought of them.
mm-hmm.
So,
No, I find my mind wanders too much when I am listening to music. And with my anxiety, I find the audiobooks really help me focus better because I actually have to listen to it and focus on it. Whereas, like, if I had a movie on or something, I would be looking up, and even just looking up at the screen, my mind goes, "Oh, let's try this." Right? So it's just me. Definitely me. Okay, Kim, outline all these things. Just outline them first before.
so Susan, what kind of music do you listen to? Just curious. The only thing new I listen to is Jelly Roll.
Oh,
Otherwise, I listen to my favorites.
yeah,
Give me some REO, Fleetwood Mac.
yeah. Classics.
By long hair, do you mean?
Zeppelin, Deep Purple. Uh, yes. Uriah Heep.
That's funny that you say that.
What?
And when we were thinking of a name for my son, now mind you, he is 40 some years old.
Mm-hmm.
We were, I don't know, laying around on the couch or something, and he says, "How about Orion?" And I said, "Orion?" He says, "Yeah, like the constellation." And I said, "I don't know." He says, "Well, that or Uriah." And I said, and what are we going to name his middle name? Heap?
I love Uriah Heep. It's one of my favorite bands. A lot of people look at me and go, "Who?" Oh, you know what? I love classical music too. I have to be in the right frame of mind for it.
I don't know that I really ever listened to it. So,
What I cannot listen to is country.
oh, I love country.
Oh, it makes me cry. It's just so freaking depressing. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I do like old country, um, that my parents listened to, Porter Wagner and all that. And yes, some of it's kind of sad, but it takes me back to a time when things were so much easier, when I
Mm,
didn't have to think about things because my mom and dad took care of it, you
okay.
know?
Yeah. See, my parents didn't really listen to country. They listened to rock.
Yeah.
And well, okay, and swing, like the big band stuff. I love big band stuff.
Do you know that's what Riley likes?
That's cool.
He wanted some 40s music the last time he was here.
Awesome.
I was like, where did that come from? His dad plays in a band, so,
Yeah.
it's not like that's what his dad listens to. And his mom listens to um alt network on Sirius,
Okay.
alternative music. So,
Yeah. I like blues, but I like instrumental blues. I don't like words.
welcome
Hey,
back, Belinda.
welcome back. We're just talking about the kinds of music we like. Stations at night, yes. See, um, we our FM stations were rock, and that's definitely what my
Hang on
teenage.
just a minute.
Yeah,
I'm going to mute for a minute. Is what I meant
okay.
to say.
Our uh, stations had rock, and Sunday night they had stories, like audio stories. That's why I'm so fixated on audiobooks, because you actually have to pay attention to it, not like a TV show where you can look up once in a while. And but the audiobooks or the stories, you actually have to pay attention to. I can take some jazz, not all jazz. We are trying grid watercolor doodles. Jean was flipping through one of her books today, so um, I said that's what I want to do. So that's why we're doing this again today. I really do need to get a handle on how to do watercolors. It's my goal. I got a couple of goals for this year. I'm not saying that they're New Year's resolutions. I don't do that because then you feel bad that you didn't do it, right? But my goals are to learn how to do watercolor better, and mainly art stuff. Like I'm not doing the gotta lose weight kind of thing. You set yourself up for failure, and then you feel bad about yourself, and that's really not conducive to mental health. And I'm all about keeping the mental health happy, if that makes sense. So, as I say, I don't. And they're easy goals. Like, I don't want to master watercolor, but I don't want to make mud. I want to learn to make them more vibrant. That kind of thing. Not that I'm going to be painting pictures, or anything, because I don't. I don't. Landscapes are not one of my preferred art things.
Yeah, me neither.
I can appreciate the work that goes in them, but I don't have landscapes in my house. I lie. I have one, and my dad painted it. So that's the only reason it's up, because my dad did it. But anything else? I don't think so.
Well, I have a good thing about Medicare.
Yeah,
My prescriptions don't cost me nothing.
nice. That is nice. And I want to learn to do more fun doodles.
I want to learn to take the time to do for myself.
Yeah. Well, that's my other thing this year is, well, it's been for a while now. Hey, Steph, nice to see you. Um, I'm stopped doing commissions years ago, and I only do what makes me happy. It's amazing how much better you feel.
Hmm.
It really, really is.
Well, I have a commission that I have to do.
Yeah, me too. It's been sitting here for 5 years, and my other goal is to get that done.
Well, mine is for my daughter, so
Right.
I guess that's not really a commission because nobody's going to pay me for it.
Yeah. But the thing is she appreciated what you did so much that she asked for one, and
Yes,
that's
true.
always lovely.
Very true.
I mean, yeah, I still have that 6 foot crocheted slug or whatever that thing my kid wanted that I haven't done. I have lots of projects, and it's time to do them. Definitely time to do them.
I hate how I can't tell if these cartridges are empty.
Oh,
I never want to waste it.
no, for sure. My thing is I don't want to go anywhere to shop if I don't have to. And I feel bad about purchasing on Amazon because there are some um, independent art stores in Winnipeg where I could get stuff if I felt like driving for almost an hour to get there, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, for me to get to an independent art store, I'm going to have to drive to Santa Fe, San Antonio,
Yeah.
Houston, Dallas. I can go to Michael's in Odessa or Lubbock, but that's still, you know, hour and a half or 2 hour drive. So,
Yeah. Well, we have Michaels in Winnipeg, but I've boycotted them since they've done away with all the cashiers except for one.
Well, ours has the self-serve ones too, but you don't. They still have one that will do it for you.
Oh yeah, there's one person that'll do it, but you have to have cash. You can't have a debit card or a check or anything. It has to be cash.
Well, ours
And
will still do it with the card.
yeah, no, ours won't. So I'm a little snarky. These are jobs that young people and women who are just going back to the workforce, like they need these kinds of jobs to get experience for their resumes, right? To get, you know, and it just irritates the bejeez out of me that they're not taking that into consideration.
Yeah. My
Oh,
crazy thing is when we have a few gas stations here that don't have pay at the pump.
yeah,
I mean, you can, they have it, but they want you to come in because too many people have done the wrong things or
yeah,
whatever. and
yes,
and I'm like, no, I have my debit card for convenience.
yeah.
And I never know how much gasoline I'm going to need.
Me neither. Me neither. So, did anybody get anything fun for Christmas? If do you exchange gifts? Did you get anything fun?
We haven't done all of our gifts, so I don't know, but I think there's a couple of fun things I've got coming from my kids
See, we
because
don't.
somebody bought them on my Amazon list.
Oh, we don't exchange gifts between the adults. So my kids, nothing. It's just the grandkids get stuff. Oh, look, he brought me a cup of tea. I'm spoiled. Say hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Kids got you a digital calendar? Cool. My grandson and his girlfriend got me a pair of huge earrings, like shoulder duster earrings. Oh, I am so excited. I love them. Absolutely love them. But that was just like totally out of the blue.
Well, I got a new purse and wallet from Gary.
Nice.
And um, prior to Christmas, I went and bought myself 2 new pairs of shoes.
Awesome.
So I call that my Christmas from me.
Yeah.
But we kind of just get what we need or want when we want it. So
Well, that's just it, right? Like, yeah. That's how we are. I mean, we buy puzzles and concert tickets.
I'd love to buy concert tickets. We both would love that. But there's never anybody close.
Yeah. Well, we are ZZ Top's coming, so I want to get tickets for that. Cirque du Soleil, I got tickets for, and whose live is it anyway? Um, that troupe is coming, like the comedy troupe. So I've got Those are just a couple of things that I'm going to get tickets for yet.
We were going to go to one at the casino in Ruidosa, and then they had fires, and then they had a ton of rain, and it just wiped out the casino.
Oh my.
So
Wow, I'm just drawing blanks for doodles today.
yeah, I'm
Crazy.
not as happy with this as I normally will be, but I can come back to this anytime I open up the books. I always add something to a page or two
Yeah,
or 10.
yeah.
Yeah, this one's, I did, oh, excuse me. I did it weird because I wanted it weird, but I'm having trouble with this one. Big trouble.
Yeah, our kids got us a puzzle, but they always give us a puzzle. We're not supposed to exchange gifts. But this one that they saw was done by an Aboriginal artist, and it's mother and daughters. So they did say, sorry, Dad. But yeah.
I actually think I know what my presents are going to be, but I'm not sure. So
Yeah. Buggered that up. Pardon me. Sorry. Language, Kim. Sorry, Jean.
oh, it's okay.
Oh, I got no circles really in here, except for the.
I ordered me some. Well, I was looking for some way to store my seed beads in the tubes.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk about how many I have, but
Okay.
it needed to be a fairly large amount.
Yep.
And
I
I looked
understand.
and looked and I found exactly what I wanted on Etsy.
Oh.
And it's here in New Mexico.
Oh.
But the shipping was $8.99 and the piece the the holder thing was $12.99.
Oh,
And I was like, no, no, no. So I went on Amazon and I found test tube holders
yeah,
and I got two for $6.99.
nice.
So, and they came today, and I'm really excited to. I actually put one together. Now I'm excited to fill it, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I'm going to have to order more.
yeah. I can understand that definitely. Yeah, I've got lots of seed beads too. I still have to send you. I was thinking about that this morning. It's like, oh, Dean must hate me. I haven't sent her those silly beads yet.
Well, you haven't told me how much I owe you either.
Well, I'll get to that like right within the next couple of days because with our dollar being so low right now, it's perfect time for you to get them. Saves you lots of money. Can't believe how low our dollar is right now.
Are you still having a postal strike?
No, postal strike's over.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I got stuff I got to send out, which reminds me, Tuesday afternoon on my stream, I will be doing the draw for the December journal. And it's going to be a really short stream on Tuesday. Sorry, Dana, I'm going to give a plug here. Miriam and
By
I
all means.
Miriam and I are doing an 8-hour marathon for New Year's. We're starting at 3:30 Eastern. So it's right before her New Year's on her channel. And then at 8 o'clock, we're switching over to my channel to ring in the New Year's here, Central. So we're going to be on for 8 hours, possibly a little bit longer if Carol has time to come and join us. And if she's there at midnight, then we'll be going that bit longer because she's behind me an hour yet. So anyway, my stream Tuesday, I'm doing my draw, and it's going to be a reasonably short stream because it's going to be really long later. You always miss the giveaways.
So Carol must be in mountain time then, huh?
Yeah. Well, I have no idea what I'm doing here, guys.
Well, I am close to pulling my tape off. I'm trying to determine if I can continue to doodle on this with the tape gone.
Well, I'm sure I could doodle on mine with the tape gone.
Yeah, I can too. But that takes brain power too. And I don't know. Today's just not there. But
I
I'm going to do it
know.
anyway because I'm almost done. I just have these two. So this side's ready.
Well, I can add to each and every one of them. And because my mind, for some reason, I'm not creative doodling per se. I'm just mindless doodling, which is perfectly fine, but yeah, I think that
So there's the
I'll,
first row. I hate throwing. You keep all your scraps. I hate throwing the tape away.
see, tape doesn't bother me.
Oh. Okay, now we got row number 2. Honestly, this is the first time I've pulled the tape off of this good tape. And I think, I did tear a little bit of the paper right there on the edge. All the way, it's still a little bit of the edge. That tells me to be a little more careful on the edge of the paper. But so far, so good.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Miriam and I aren't part of the streamathon this year. Steph, we're running independent. Well, it hasn't pulled paper off, and so far, I don't have bleed because I burnished it good because you told me to.
Yep.
Um,
Now, see, I think I could use these in some vintage something somewhere if I can find a place to put it.
my marker bled. My black marker bled under, but the paint did not.
I think that might be what happened with mine on the one that I said I took the lines on through. So
Yeah,
you could do that if it, follows in the line correctly. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. My marker bled. That's interesting because there wasn't even any water on the paper because we hadn't put any paint down or anything. I did that totally at the beginning before we
Yeah.
even started.
Well, I really like the way this tape's coming off. And it's still very sticky.
Yeah, so's mine. It's all in a ball in the garbage, though.
Now, when I use the painter's tape, I don't ever save that. But this, for some reason, feels so special.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it.
Not a single bleed through.
That's awesome.
And the only thing is, I may have went over the edge. Maybe that's why it pulls up. I don't know. Well, that one's not going to get used again because it's wadded up on itself. These two, this one's not done. This one could be done,
Yeah.
but this one's not. It's just all there. This one's just dun, 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 so.
Yeah.
And then when you get it all off, you have a favorite square. Do you have a
Yep.
favorite square?
I do. Well, I've got two.
Let me make you big. Okay, show us.
I like these two. Blue and orange, Jean, blue and orange.
Yeah.
But definitely these two are my favorites so far. By the time this one's finished being doodled, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to just let them go and then come back to them and see if you want to do anything to it,
Yeah,
because sometimes it's okay.
yeah, yeah. This one, because it was the starting doodle, you kind of have to warm up, right?
Uh-huh.
I probably should have warmed up on something different before this, but that's okay. It's just what it
I
is.
like it.
I'm having fun.
Do you like it?
I do like it. I like the orange, blue, and green and yellow together. I
Yeah.
really like those together.
Okay.
But I mean, orange, yellow, and blue are my colors, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So there's mine.
oh, I love that. I love
Of
the
course,
way you do those rings. The top left, those
uh,
little rings
how do I
around.
do those?
No, I know how to do them. I
Oh,
just love them.
yeah. Gives you a little movement. I do think I want to take colored pencil in a few places to give a little more depth.
Yeah.
And I think that's new to me. That's not something I've done,
Mm-hmm.
but I do kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like adding that little punch of extra color. Like you
Yeah.
can see with the orange around where I did it, it it does something for it, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so. Well,
But
I
this
think it does something for it.
this one definitely needs to be you have more in it.
Yeah,
So,
especially with the colors being so washy, right?
yeah.
I can deal with them washy if I punch it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Belinda.
Thank you, Belinda. And Sherry, you're right. For orange and blue, it depends upon the blue. I'm
No, it
not a
doesn't.
big blue fan, but you could never tell. I have lots of blue beads. I have lots of blue paint and colors and stuff like that. But it's my least favorite color.
It's my favorite color. It like my mom used to say, green's your favorite, no matter what color it is. That's the way I am with blue.
I like turquoise. I
Oh,
love
I love
turquoise.
turquoise too.
But turquoise and lighter. Anything darker than turquoise, I'm not fond of.
Hmm. No, I
Yeah.
love blues.
So if you had to do something in colors you didn't like Sherry suggested, what would you choose?
Brown,
Yeah.
red, and green together.
I have trouble with any kind of earthy colors. I've
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
and it's okay, but I don't love it.
yeah. No, I mean, for fencing or whatever, yeah, I can use brown. Trees, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anything that maybe a teddy bear, okay. No, I'm not a big brown or a green fan. Well, brown and green together, no, no.
Yeah, I can put green with just about any color and be happy there.
Well, yeah, because that's the way flowers are.
Yeah.
Everything has green background, right?
And I can do brown when I mix it with a turquoise and a pink, but not a bright pink, kind of a dusty brownish pink.
Okay, like a dusty rose or whatever.
Yeah, I can do the brown with those.
Okay.
And I have on some things, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, that's like trying to put black into things. And I did buy, it was inexpensive. I found it on Amazon, I believe. A set of paints that are graphite colors.
Okay.
I don't even know where they're. Oh, here it is. Um, they are. Oh, in a whole. I thought they were just a sliding thing. but they're in a box. So this is, come on. I don't know. They don't want to come out of this box. You'll see them better out of the box. There we go. And they're graphite. And it's all in Chinese, so I can't tell you exact colors. But I mean, you can see the colors a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's kind of a burgundy, a green, a blue, purple. This is more of a turquoise. This is more blue. And this is another shade of purple. But they're just too much brown in them. And I've tried.
Yeah.
I probably need to try it again, but I like my bright colors.
Me too. Me too.
So for me to try something, it would definitely have to be, more in the neutrals.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm not a fan of blue, but I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Because it works with things, so.
Yeah, definitely have to add pencil crayon to my doodles when I use watercolor. Like I've punched up the flowers with some orange and reds.
Yeah, I just took mine and put a little shadow on it, and I like that. I have a blending stick here somewhere. It probably flew the coop. Or it's already laying out here, one or the other. Oh yeah, after I did a little blending and yeah. And that's not something I've done, so I think that's something you've rubbed off on me.
Yay! It's good to know that that happens.
Wrong green. I finally found me a pencil sharpener that works very well and gets a good sharp point on my colored pencils.
Nice. Barbara had told me about one, but I haven't ordered one yet. But I will eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've shaded it and I like it, but I don't want to add anything to it.
Well, then it's done.
It is. It is. We'll call those done.
I still need to add something to this one. I know that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just it's too big of a space with nothing in it.
Yeah.
But this one might be done. I might have just a few more lines somewhere, but.
See, like I don't mind this corner being bare.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is so busy. This I know I still have stuff to do with. Yeah, it gets done the way it gets done, right? Like,
Yep. Sometimes just a few extra little lines coming in, like I do here. I don't even know if you can see that, but
Yeah,
I sometimes that's all it needs.
definitely. Actually, that would be a perfect thing just to do here by this swirly thing.
In case you are all wondering, it's 363 days till Christmas.
Yeah, Ron was saying, yeah, 362 shopping days till Christmas. I says, isn't it a good thing that we don't have to shop for Christmas? So I'm thinking I want to do something in some of these outlines, like the black lines on,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it might take away from the pop of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will leave them. Uh, Rats. Have to redo that line because I went over it in white.
It's not showing up.
It's not showing up.
Nope.
Oh, rude.
Come on, pen. I think you are just about empty. Just give me just a little bit longer. And since I take these pens everywhere I go, I'm going to put a new cartridge in it just to be safe.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I'm going to let it sit for a while and see if it's as empty as it feels. Now, where'd my other one go? I did have them both out, but I moved one.
This paper feels very weak. Like I have to be very careful using this pen because it feels like I'm going through the paper.
Hmm.
That probably putting watercolor on these pages isn't maybe the it's a sketchbook, so figured it had decent paper. Wow, making a big mess.
Actually, I feel like sketchbooks are the thinnest paper, at least for me anyway.
Yeah. Well, it felt like a decent crunch. Don't like that. So what is everybody else working on?
I am done. I'm calling it done.
You're calling it done?
I'm calling it done. I think. Except this needs a little bit of white in it. And actually, it needs it, but there's not a place to put it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mine is not done. I still have three. Three to do something in.
Well, that sounds like a good job to do today, Steph. She's been
That's
working on sipping tea.
yeah. As long as you're sipping tea because you want to and not because you've got a sore throat and you're trying to make it feel better. Because if that's the case, I'm sorry to hear that because so much junk going around.
That's wonderful, Belinda. I'm glad to see somebody's playing with watercolors.
Oh, good. Oh, you're hoping the caffeine wakes you up? Yeah. I get it. I do get that. All right, so that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. No rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this, obviously.
Oh, that sounds good. That's one of my husband's specialties is homemade pizza.
I love homemade pizza.
Around here we call it Papa Pizza. And when the grands are here, they all want Papa Pizza, which is just fine by me.
My grands ask for things like noodles and gravy or stroganoff or cheeseburger soup.
Things their mothers don't fix. Right?
Yeah.
My kids ask for the Papa Pizza too. But the grands get it always.
Yeah.
With all this talk of food, I'm probably about ready to call it a day.
Yeah. Crayola super tips with a water pen. Interesting. Weird toppings when she's over and you're doing pizza. What kind of weird toppings? I need to ask. What do you consider a weird topping? I used to have a pizza restaurant and I would get strange requests for chicken pizza this was way back in the 80s, right? So chicken pizza was not a thing then. Banana pizza, I got asked for, of course. It's a pizza restaurant. There are no bananas in my restaurant. Um, yeah, cucumbers and squash. You know what? Squash I could probably do, but I'm not a big fan of cooked cucumbers.
I don't know that I've ever ate one, and I don't know that I ever want to try one.
You have to stop her. Yeah, I believe that.
I do like pineapple on a pizza,
Yes, me too.
and I could the weirdest pizza I ever had. It's a restaurant here, and it was after Thanksgiving, and they did a Thanksgiving pizza, and it had turkey and mashed potatoes and dressing on it, drizzled with cranberry sauce.
Mm,
It would have
okay.
been great if they'd have taken those and made a bowl, but
Yeah,
putting it on a pizza, it wasn't so good.
yeah. We've one of our restaurants here, pizza restaurants, makes pierogi pizzas. Those are actually quite good.
Yeah, that would be okay.
Of course, they don't use the tomato sauce. They'll use like an Alfredo or
Yeah,
uh, a white sauce on it.
I do
So
like Alfredo pizza, and I do like chicken bacon ranch pizza.
yeah, that would be good. See,
Yeah.
here we go. We're making people hungry again.
Yep.
We are making people hungry again. It's what we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. You never know, though, Steph. They may be weird, but they may be just the perfect pizza. You know. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't see how, but maybe.
yeah. Well, some of the restaurants here give you ranch dipping sauce, right, Sherry?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
cool, Kathleen. I can't wait to see. Will you be posting it on Instagram? You know what, Goldie? You can let her make herself like a little individual pizza. But the thing is, my rule always was you make it, you eat it, right? Like you're not wasting food. Okay. Oh, okay. Just wanted to see how much, if I was getting much bleed through from these markers.
Down
You know,
here, ranch is always served with almost everything.
yeah. One of my daughters cannot stand ranch dressing.
I'm okay with it sometimes. My favorite way, other than that pizza, because I do really like that pizza, chicken bacon ranch. And
Yeah,
I when I go to Subway, that's the sandwich I get, chicken bacon ranch.
yeah,
But I never have the ranch put on it on at Subway because I want real mayonnaise on my sandwich. But
right.
I totally forgot where I was going. Hmm, I don't know. I just brain just stopped.
Oh, biscuits with turkey broth and flour? That would be good. So she, instead of making biscuits and gravy, she put the gravy right in the biscuits. That actually sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be more like a stuffing then, wouldn't it? Like stuffing balls? Definitely, definitely interesting.
Oh, I know where I was going. When we go to a restaurant that has a salad bar, and I'll make up my salad, and then I'll put cottage cheese on top, and then I put ranch dressing, and I love that.
Oh,
Which is kind of weird, I suppose, but I really do like it.
I don't think we've got any restaurants around with salad bars anymore. Well, not the ones I go to anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, we still have the pizza places that do.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. Well, I don't know. Is that like for lunchtime?
And they have them all the time. And our favorite steakhouse, they have an all you can eat salad bar that's just it's a whole meal. It's just
Oh, it could be
wonderful.
for me too. I would love that. No, I can't remember the last time I saw a salad bar at a restaurant here. Sherry,
Yeah,
can you think of any? Those of you who don't know, Sherry and I live about 40 minutes apart. She lives in the nearest city to me. So if you're wondering why I'm asking Sherry, it's because with her living in the city, she would know better than I do.
yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
we still have several salad bars, and we have a sea or not a seafood, an Oriental place that's a buffet.
We've got Oriental places that are buffets, but you know,
There's one in Odessa that we love, and it is so good.
yeah, cattle baron for a salad bar now. See, I really, yeah, we don't go to. There's only a few restaurants that we go to, Sherry, and they definitely don't. But I mean, my
Cattle
daughter goes to many restaurants. I'll have to ask her because they often go out for a meal.
Cattle Baron is what I was talking about. Our steak place that has a great or salad bar.
We don't have those here.
Oh,
And from what I've heard, Big Guys, which is another like burger joint thing, are thinking of closing down all the restaurants in Canada. So, what do you? Is this one done? Do you consider this one done?
yes.
This one's done. This one's done. Okay. So I still have three more to go.
Well, I think that top one in the corner that you said was your favorite looks done to me.
This one,
Yeah.
I can leave that as it is. Maybe a row of white dots above this post, though.
I like how your white showed up.
Yeah.
Did you use the roll
Signal.
of yeah. Sometimes mine splits and doesn't want to.
Yes. Yes. That's what happened over on this one. I got a lot of split. I just go over it again.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to go.
Okay.
Mama
Yeah.
needs a sandwich. I got one slice of meatloaf left.
Nice.
I love meatloaf sandwiches.
Me too.
So I want to thank you all for coming and playing with us today. And if you played, we'd love to see your work in Kim's group.
Or on IG. If we follow you on IG, I'd love to check it out.
Absolutely. And I
Definitely.
hope we didn't bore you,
Yeah.
watching paint dry, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But we had a good time. I'm glad you were all here.
Yes. Thank you all for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. I appreciate Jean for hosting again.
And thank you, Kim, for coming.
Well, you had me. You brought me over today. So,
Well, everyone have a great rest of your day and a very happy new year. Let's hope for the best of this upcoming year for all of us.
definitely. And I will see you guys Tuesday because it's the last Sunday of the month. We don't do the Feral Artist Group. So I'm going live at 12:45 on Tuesday. And it is the monthly giveaway for the little journal. So hope to see you guys there.
All
Thank you
righty,
so much,
everyone,
Jean.
be safe. Bye.
Bye now.